everybody. This is Adrienne with Ascension Soul Coaching. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Okay, so today we're going to do a quick reading on what happened with Whoopi Goldberg on The View, the ladies of The View. So yesterday they were talking about the Holocaust, and Whoopi made the accident. They were talking about race and about some book that was being taken out of the school, and I think it was called The Mouse, and she felt like the person who was saying, the child who was offended by the book The Mouse because there was nudity in it, like, why would you be upset about the nudity when the story about the mouse is about the Holocaust and the atrocities that happened to the people during the time of the Nazi regime. So but then they got into further conversation. They started talking about, was it racist? And Whoopi kept saying, no, the Holocaust wasn't about racism. And they kept saying, well, what is it about? And she was like, well, it's not about racism. Well, she was wrong. It is about racism. The German white Aryan nation wanted to depopulate, annihilate, extinguish the Jewish culture or the Jewish race. And so Hitler wanted to annihilate the Jewish race. So he thought that the white Aryan, blue-eyed race was superior to the Jews, which was dark-haired, had a little olive skin, whatever. So it was a lot more under those layers of who the Jews were and who the Aryans were, who the white race in the Nazis were, and the reason why we went to war and all that other good stuff. But you all know, I hope you know your history. Well, she kept saying it wasn't a racist issue, because what she explained later was that when she's thinking of racism, she's thinking of black and white, right? Like what happened to the blacks in America, not so much what happened to other whites against whites. Even that's how she was seeing it, was whites against whites, so it wasn't racism, but she wasn't looking at the culture, and Jews are a race. Jewish is a race. So she's on an apology tour. Now, the reason why I want to do the reading, though, is because you have to be careful what you say out of your mouth. The people on The View, I think since the pandemic started, the women have been more leaning. They're left, and they had a couple of conservatives on there to give it a little bit of balance over the years. But I think in the past 2 years, it's become very, very liberal and very, way out there liberal. Like, a lot of things I'm a conservative Democrat. I'm a Democrat, but I'm a conservative Democrat. So I can see things from both sides of the fence. But I think the past 2 years they've been way, way to the left, and I can't get on board with some of the things they say. One is about the COVID vaccination. Just as a disclaimer, they were saying a few months ago that you should get the vaccine, and it's going to, we'll get back to normal, and you're spreading disease if you don't get, you're spreading the virus if you don't get the vaccine. And then all of them got the vaccine. All of them been quarantined for months, just doing Zoom, phoning in the shows, and now they're back together on the set. But now they've all gotten, I think all but one have gotten COVID. And the one who didn't get COVID, her husband got COVID. And they're all, boosted up to the max, but they were going after other people and want people canceled. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just giving you the background, not making any scientific announcements on here. I'm not giving you my opinion about that. What happened? That is what happened. They were saying all these things. They got COVID after they got boosted, but during the time they were trying to say other people who didn't want to get the vaccine, they couldn't understand, and they were calling for the people to be canceled, like with the thing with Joe Rogan. They were just the other day talking about him and how he was giving out disinformation, and people who want to leave the platform of Spotify, maybe they should, maybe more should. So it's like a cancel culture thing. So now, karma, perhaps. Whoopi said something out of her mouth that is not true, and everybody who knows anything about history knows it's not true. I mean, maybe she misspoke and she was on one track about black and white and racism, and that's the way she was looking at it, and just didn't think hard enough that Jews being Jewish, it is a race. And she admitted she was wrong, and she said she was sorry for offending anybody or hurting anybody for making a statement. But now the people are coming after her and want to cancel her. You see how that works? So, hey, it's like this world is totally different than it was about 20 years ago, and how people react to things and how they just try to destroy your whole life because you said one thing that someone else didn't agree with, or you hurt somebody's feeling by something you said. And saying sorry today, in today's day and time, is no longer enough. You have to give up your sacrifice, fall on your sword, and give up your whole career because you made one faux pas, and I don't think that's right. So we're going to read today. I'm sorry for that tirade and rant, but let's just do a reading on Miss Whoopi Goldberg. I love Whoopi. I watch her on The View, even though I don't agree with everything she says, especially lately. I still love her. I mean, this girl is phenomenally talented. I've watched her since before The Color Purple, when she did her one-woman shows, and I just thought she was just dynamic. So we're going to say, what is she thinking about what has happened? And has she learned the real lesson about regarding the karma, about trying to, counseling other people and then finding her in the same situation and the people trying to counsel her. So this is I pulled up the first card. All right, so that was the first card. And this is the second card. So, what is she going to learn? I want to throw this card out because it's come out, but it didn't really fall. Sorry. Let's do it one more time. One more card. And we just need one. That was two. Pull this back a little bit, y'all. One more card. And this is how I shuffle my cards. It's the best for me. This is how I get the best reading for me. Miss Goldberg, what is she going to learn from this situation? One card, please. Is she going to learn karma, or is this going to fly over her head? All right, the card just fell out. Okay. So, this card we pulled out before when I was talking to you is how is Whoopi feeling about the situation right now? And then this card is she learn? What is she going to learn? Is she going to learn karma, or is this whole episode going to just fly over her head and she's just going to never going to hit her to understand it? This was karma being thrown at her. All right, so this is the first card. It says Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about making decisions, sometimes living in fantasy world. So she's got some, and if you don't know, this is the character Rose on the Golden Girls, who just passed away at the age of 99 in December of 2021. But she looks a little worried. I really believe that she's looking at all her options. Whoopi's been on this show for, I think she and Joy have been on the show the longest, I do believe. And so people want her to leave. I think there's some other things that she wants to do. Maybe she's getting tired of the show. That this might be a great time. She loves the job. Don't get me wrong. She loves this job. She can sit at the desk 4 days a week. And I think they do tape 4 days a week, but I know some time before they would tape more, like 2 shows a day. But she's off on Fridays. She's the moderator. She's the head at the seat of the table. But she's looking at all the options because she's still very in the theater, in the theatrics. She's in the theater. She's in movies. She's in television shows. So this is not her only gig, but it worries her because she doesn't want it to mess up any of those other opportunities. Like, I think The View is going to have her back. It was a conversation. It's called The View for a reason. She was put in her place and by the audience and by her other host. And then I think they had some lawyer come on the day after, and talk more about it. So I think that she knows it's not her only option, The View. But she doesn't want what happened to mess up those other options. She still wants to stay at The View for a while. little bit longer. But in the meantime, she wants to be able to do these other endeavors. And again, she doesn't want to mess those up with this drama right now that's going on. That's what she's mostly worried about. She's most worried about don't mess with my money. I hope this don't mess with my money. Okay. Okay. And then what has she learned? What has she learned from this issue? Oh, Wheel of Fortune. She knows that things come and things go. She knows it's all about spectrum. It's all about the Wheel of Fortune. That some days you're hot, some days you're not. Some days you make mistakes. Some days you're just on perfect, a score 10. And so she knows. I think that what she's going to learn is that, hey, life just has its cycles. So to me, it's not a karma so much card as much as it's just life. She's going to understand that. Yeah, I think she does. It does come to everybody. I think she does think it comes to everybody. It's not a karma card per se, but it's just that everybody goes through these cycles where today is you, tomorrow is me, and the next day it could be someone else. And she's going to try to go out there and explain herself. She knows it's important to do that. I think she's learning that she has to be careful what she says. But I think she's also learning she has to be a little bit more humble. Because a lot of times she'll say, it is this way on the show. It is this way, or this situation is that way. And then, like, that happened yesterday. And so that's what happened. She kept pushing back, saying it wasn't race. The Holocaust wasn't about racism. And instead of opening up and listening. But I think she knows it just happens, man. She's going to go with the flow. And so in the show, a lot of times what she would say when somebody was facing misfortune, like a guest, or they were talking about a story about somebody who had misfortune, or an actor, or someone in the entertainment industry who was going through some, whether it's money issues or financial issues, she said, but for the grace of God goes I. And it means, and it's a proverb in the Bible, and it's just saying recognition and of the other's misfortune could be your own, if it weren't for the blessing of God. And so yes, I think that's going to come home to roost, because she's gone through it before, doesn't want to go through it again. She's seen others go through it, and I think she will sit back and reflect on it and says, yes, now it's my turn. Fortune, right? The fortune. I'm going through it now. I'm going through those changes right now. And I think she'll understand that she has to be a little bit more humble when she's talking about going back to be more humble, I should say, to the way she talks about people who are going through things that she doesn't necessarily agree with on the show, and not always trying to throw somebody under the bus or say they should be canceled I don't think she, as much as some of the others, go for the counseling, but I think she's very open to it, and she does lean in that direction. Like, yeah, if they say it, she'll like, I think people should really think more about this and what they say and so here you go. Same for you, Whoopi, for what you say. I love you, girl. I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying this is your favorite saying. There, but for the grace of God goes I. It's your turn. What you gonna do about it? Okay, y'all, that is my reading for the day. I think we all need to learn that lesson. I mean, we tarot readers who are on YouTube, who do talk about Meghan and Harry a lot, I've been trying not to do a lot of videos on them, but there's so much to talk about. And I try to do it in a way that people can learn from what they're doing and just pull out and call out some of the behaviors. Now listen, I'm not perfect. I also have been called out, from a lot of things in my life. And so I'm not sitting here judging someone and saying or thinking I'm better than them. I do not. I would love for Harry and Meghan to have a great marriage and a great relationship with both sides of their family, and to represent the British community like they were supposed to. That's not their choice, nor some of the behaviors they exhibited would not be my choice. As well with Whoopi, there are some things I feel that I wouldn't want to push. I may feel a certain way that I don't think I should push. I know she should have a view on The View. It's her show, right? But there's some things that you shouldn't be pushing people. You want to bring in, constructive criticism is fine. Dialogue and discussion is fine. But letting other people speak and I believe in free speech. I believe that, but what she did wasn't more free speech more than she did not understand. And she misspoke. She truly misspoke. And it needed to be corrected. And so I'm not going to put her down for that. I love Whoopi. Like I just said, I love Whoopi. Anytime I see her in a movie, I'm like, oh, there's Whoopi, Even if it's a little scene or whatever she's in, a little cameo. So I don't think it's a bad thing what happened. I think this is a really good thing because I don't know if you remember, just a couple of months ago, if people said anything about the vaccine passports and the word Nazis combined, people were censored. So this opens up the avenue for people to actually talk about what she said. I don't know how many people are going to do it. I know a couple of comedians are going to probably pick it up this week. But a lot of comedians like her, so a lot, not all. And so it may be a topic of discussion about that. And I think, hey, we should need to learn history. Can't whitewash history. And I think a lot of the critical race theory stuff is, I don't understand it. I really don't understand why they're fighting about what they can and can't say in school about what happened. I do know that our history books are totally diluted. They do not tell a fifth of what really happened. And for definitely a lot of the minorities and our contributions to this world, they don't talk about, and how we were poorly treated is not talked about enough. Not because we want to keep banging people over the head about what happened, but we want to understand what happened, and so it doesn't happen again. We can grow and learn and not continue to fall back and do the same thing. And so Whoopi needed to understand, and a lot of people maybe needed to understand, that the Holocaust was about racism. Racism isn't always about black and white. There's people over in Africa fighting each other over, with tribalism. There's colorism. There's all kinds of things that people get hurt from. So I'm glad the discussion came out. I don't think she's going to be hurt. I'm going to throw out one more card really quick. I'm going to use my Melanin Queen Oracle deck to see how this is all going to turn out for Whoopi. So I'm going to pull one card. How is this all going to turn out for Whoopi? Where is this going to lead to for Whoopi? So that's the question I want to know. And we just want one card. This card wanted to fall. And it says, sweetest thing. She gonna be okay. Whoopi is enjoying her life. She's in her 60s, late 60s, going on 70s. She's going to take it. She's going to meditate on it. She's going to learn her lesson. Now this rainbow sign, a lot of people look at that as the rainbow sign for the gay and lesbian community, LBGT community. And so taking it in and understanding the world, there's different people in the world. She's going to understand. Someone's teaching her a little bit more about the Holocaust, I think, right now, so she can just be more aware. And I think that she's taking it in, she's soaking it in so she can absorb it. But she's going to walk away with some things to talk about, some things herself she might teach on. There's some opportunities that's going to come actually out of this for her, y'all. Really, she may even do a documentary or something on the Holocaust, something that can teach about racism or what happened at that time, or something that's going to bring her in. And I think that would be a great opportunity. I think she's going to soak it in, and it's going to be a sweet rose for her, and her fortune will turn back around. It's going to be it's not going to really hurt her that bad. A few months to be forgotten, but I think that she's going to get some sweet deals out of this thing, and that's okay. As long as she learns, as long as she does better. And the most important thing is as long as she learns. As long as we learn, and we keep learning, right? And nobody's perfect. So anyway, that was my reading today on Whoopi Goldberg and her comment about the what happened with the Holocaust. If you want a reading with me, you know how to get in touch with me. Ascension Soul Coaching @gmail.com. So anyway, you all have a great day. Talk to you later. Love you all. Bye-bye.